We do want to go into our news of the week, which is brought to you by Eagle Mortgage Company. You can find out more about them by going to their website, eaglemortgagecompany.com, or you can stop in the office. But it doesn't matter whether you're doing FHA, VA, or a conventional loan. They'll take care of you. That's eaglemortgagecompany.com. Got a couple of news items for you today. First of all, the Planning Board has approved a project called, I don't know what the name is, but it's being done by Uptown Properties, and it's going to be located at 31st and Marcy Streets. This is going to be a classic urban infill project, 2 5-level buildings, 188 apartments on 1.54 acres, and it's just on the edge of the new streetcar system, so it'll be able to take advantage of the transit-oriented development.
Good density.
Nice density infill. Also, Creighton University is requesting $60 million from the state of Nebraska. They testified before the Unicameral's Appropriations Committee this week to help the university finish a trio of projects, including a new baseball field for the team, as well as College World Series practice, the $90 million C.L. Werner Center for Health Sciences, and upgrading streets and landscaping on campus. And then Trenton, this is kind of encouraging for the future of Omaha. Joe Finley, who does our residential column in the Grow-Omaha newsletter each week, tells us for the first time in quite a while, Omaha metro area is in the top 40 large metro areas in the country for rapid housing price increases. A 9.9% growth rate last year.
Wow, that's high. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, actually.
It's a good thing if you own the home. It's maybe a bad thing if you're trying to buy them, but it's a sign that people are moving here. Also a sign that we might have a housing shortage. But it grew faster than the home prices in Kansas City, St. Louis, Denver, and Minneapolis. All right, so the other news item we have today is LB 692. And this is known as the Good Life Transformational Projects Act, introduced by Senator Luann Linehan. It's easier for some people to say than me. And so, but we have 4 people here, and I'm going to have Governor Pillen and Mayor Evans can kind of talk about it from the perspective of elected officials, and then Rod and Johanna can talk about it from the perspective of developers, both that would do a project here, and then also Rod's experience down in Kansas. So, who wants to start with this? What's the best place to do? Okay, should we go? Governor Pillen, why don't we have you start with your thoughts on this, if you wouldn't mind?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. I think that one of the most important responsibilities as your governor is that we have state policy in a position so that we can compete and so that we can grow not only Omaha but grow Nebraska. Incredibly important, and we're at a time, unlike in the history of our state, where we have some tremendous opportunities. At this stage of the game, my singular focus has been making sure that we all understand where we're at as a state and our incredible need to develop a tax policy that's transformative so we can compete with our neighbors, where we can have transformative property tax change, because in the state of Nebraska, you don't even have to own property to be adversely affected by how far out of whack our property taxes are. And then, of course, our income tax is, we have a couple neighbors that have zero. Our neighbor to the east has got a plan in place to be down to 3.99 by 2026. And so we've got a lot on the table for this session. It's really important that we get our income tax down to 3.99. I've made a mistake because we all agree that we want to beat Iowa, and we need to amend that to get it to 3.98. We don't want to tie Iowa, I might add. And the other piece would be, I don't know how it happened. Not passing judgment way back, but it's when we Nebraskans talk about taxing our senior citizens' Social Security checks with income tax, just absolutely makes us pull our hair out. And so our proposal is to end that next year. So those are a singular focus there. Fundamentally, when we talk about LB 692, Rod and Johanna know it. I'm a person that fundamentally wants government out of our hair and wants business to have a free lane to really, really run and compete. I think that, certainly I think where the state needs to step up and be a part of is so we can compete with our surrounding states. So, I just commend what's taken place, what Rod and Johanna, what Nebraska Crossing has done in the last 11 years, growing from nothing to doing over $1 billion. And congratulations, by the way, on the new Yeti store being opened. You hear it every day, but I'll just add to it. Suzanne is wondering, when is the Nordstrom store coming? So that's a big deal. But I think it's important that we compete with our neighbors. And so I think when we look at LB 692, what we need to understand is what do we have to do to be in the game? Because when you're in a location that's exactly halfway from downtown Lincoln, halfway from downtown Omaha, and have a business that's drawing people from Kansas and Iowa and South Dakota, drawing our neighbors' destination. Those are just great revenue streams for the state, and it's important to be able to be a part of helping grow that.
So let's talk a little bit about what LB 692 would do. It's designed to incentivize projects that are greater than $500 million. But what does that mean? And Mayor Evans, maybe we'll have you take a stab at it about what this project would do, how it would work, and what impact it would have on a place like Gretna.
Right. Well, thanks so much. And I really appreciate Senator Linehan bringing this forward. It's so important. And as Governor Pillen said, it is transformative. And it's also important to compete. And the reason it's important to compete, for one, is these destinations really change our opportunities. It diversifies our property tax. I mean, we have all of our eggs in one basket, and that's why our property taxes are so high. Let's wean off that property tax a little bit and grow our sales tax some, and especially when the dollars are coming from out of state. Like here, there's 30% of tourism. And so if we can pull in money from out of state and help them pay our property tax, all the better. And, as far as this location, it's a fantastic location. If you're going to the west, this is a gateway to our capital city in western Nebraska and all the great things it has. And then to the east, we're the front door to the metro area. So it's a perfect place to make an impact statement to say, we're Nebraska, we're a great place to live. Let's keep our residents here and say having them drive to Des Moines and Kansas City and Denver. Let's keep them in the state, have them come to Gretna and just enjoy all the destinations they're enjoying other places.
So let's talk to Rod and Johanna about let's say this bill passes, and you guys are able to be one of the mega projects that could take advantage of 692 and change the face of Nebraska. What are some things that you guys have planned or you envision here?
Yeah. First of all, Jeff, we should note that there's typically every year 900 bills that are submitted for consideration for a transformational project or something that people want to see happen in Nebraska, and I think roughly 40 of those pass. So any of these bills that come through here, they're a long shot, so it takes a lot of effort. And I'll tell you, if you've never been to the legislative process like we did on Wednesday down at the Capitol, I mean, it's fascinating seeing these senators work together and Linehan and the Revenue Committee. It's really, really a cool experience. So I want to acknowledge that, how much great that was to be part of that. But what I see for 692, it kind of falls in, for me, part of my history. In 2000, I did the Legends Project down in Kansas City. Didn't do it by myself. We had a bunch of great partners doing it. But what we were able to do is create something called Star Bonds, which I think for the most part has been a successful legislation for Kansas. But we took 1,600 acres of farmland that was in a blighted community, Kansas City, Kansas, and we ended up creating over 3 million square feet of commercial space, a bunch of entertainment venues, and now it does over $2 billion in retail sales and draws traffic, 15 million people from a 13-state region. So that's a great template for Nebraska. That's what we see happening. Do a lot of new-to-market retail, do a lot of entertainment venues, and I think as we talked to Governor Pillen, as he became, and Governor Johanna and I did, the things that we wanted to contribute to the economy with Mayor Evans is We wanted to be really good at tourism. We wanted to be really good with retail. And we wanted to do our part to complement what's happening in youth sports. Youth sports is a $25 billion industry. Nebraska traditionally has not gotten their fair share of that. So what we want to do as part of our kind of vision of LB 692 is really support that, work with all the other facilities in the MSA, and really change the face of that and make that a big part of Nebraska's culture and industry.
Mayor Evans, there's so much around here, the different parks and experience stuff. Talk a little bit about what would be complemented and what would get an uplift by having such a transformative project coming through here.
Right. Well, as our community continues to grow, we're kind of right-sizing everything to our community. So it, like our large park, we open in September. We're excited about that. But some of this is just to right-size all the growth. So we need these type of amenities. We have a lot of young families that come out here. And to be honest, the younger generation has different expectations than we do. And so they want these type of experiential places to go visit, to be close to their house. So this fits our community perfectly because it's kind of the profile of who's living here.
Okay, so possibly a big mega project coming to Gretna as a result of 692. It's got to get through the legislature. If you like this video, be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. And remember, Grow Omaha is not just media. This is a mission. We are trying to build up Omaha and make it an even better place. We can only do that with your help. Share this video with your friends, neighbors, and family.